United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Peter Somerville, Town Councilman.
Ed Van Auken, Town Councilman.
Brian Wood, Town Councilman.
Randy Bates, Town Councilman.
Victoria Baker, Town.
All right, any audience comments to start? Okay. Can I have a motion to accept the minutes of the June 26th meeting?
I make a motion to accept the minutes of the June 26, 2025 regular meeting.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. There are no budget modification transfers. I make a motion that we pay all signed vouchers and bills.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Reports, Supervisor Dolce is not here tonight. He's expecting his 5th grandchild, so we wish him well. He does have a couple of things on his agenda that he wanted to bring up. Number one, and I'll refer to you if you want to, Ed, talk just a little bit about the low-level outlet pipe meeting with the hike preserve and give us like the Cliff Note version of that. Yeah, whatever, yeah.
Sure, I'd be happy to. So on the 24th, or actually prior to that, we'd received, or John had received a letter from Lynn Love at the Hike Preserve indicating that they asked, well, maybe I should give you some background. The low-level referred to as the LLO in the dam, which serves two purposes. One is to draw down the level of the lake in the event of a storm that would overcome the dam. And it also provides water to the water district in the event that the lake is so low that water's not coming over the spillway. It's damaged, it's leaking, and the Hike Preserve hired Labella Engineering to do a review of the situation and then offer alternatives or, suggest recommendations. One of which they were the one out of the 5 that they recommended was to cap it and put in a temporary solution for providing water to the water district, either via a siphon, like I guess a hose draped over the spillway or something like that in the event the lake was too low, or a pump house, which would be more construction. But these are both temporary ideas because in the event, in the time that they originally applied for a grant to upgrade the dam altogether, which they still intend to do, or we together intend to do, it would have a much bigger low-level a brand new low-level outlet and much bigger. So we could do both jobs easily. I'm sorry, it is turning into a longer story than I expected, but they recommended capping the low-level outlet because they felt there was too much risk involved by excavating the riprap on the lower side of the dam, not knowing what kind of damage is already there and if it could, in fact, make the situation worse and therefore, affect the integrity. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. The integrity of the dam. So Lynn and the Hike Preserve have been meeting with Supervisor Dolce over the past few months, and he had, I guess, I hadn't been at this meeting, but I believe that he had asked them to go back to Labella to ask the DEC if it was permittable for us to do that, to excavate, to investigate, and determine whether or not the LL. And the DEC reacted negatively to. They felt there was too much risk. We had asked if there's something was provided in writing to that effect, and it wasn't, so we asked for a meeting. This is the meeting that we got on June 24th. And they basically continued to support that idea that they felt it was too risky and that capping the LLO and putting in, by the way, the siphon and or pump house are temporary solutions because the upgrade of the dam with a much bigger and better LLO would actually be a permanent solution. So that leaves one particular detail of this missing is in the event of a hurricane or something like that, where the integrity of dam is in danger, there has to be a solution for a drawdown within 48 hours. And so there is an organization in Massachusetts, I believe, called Rain for Rent, which with a phone call and I guess an agreement, they could show up with equipment temporary enough to down the lake to resolve what could be a bad situation. So there was a lot of discussion during that meeting. Ultimately, John, and I believe even from Bill's recommendation that, the town is responsible for the low-level outlet portion of the dam, that we would partner with the Hike Preserve to go forward with the capping and a temporary solution for the water district. That's as brief as I could make it.
No, that's fine. That's good.
No, that's good.
Does that make sense?
So there's a lot of moving parts,
A lot of moving parts.
where it affects, the water supply, the integrity of the dam, and hopefully when the hamlet has a new water supply, and then that also affects the town's responsibility for maintenance of the dam. So there's a lot of different.
And it's unfortunate the timing is such. The current low-level outlet is in jeopardy and potentially causing an issue that won't go away anytime soon. And by the time the upgrade project actually takes place and we are able to move away from the lake as a source for the water district, that could be 4 or 5 years from now. And no one,
But then again, the low level outlet's been leaking for many years.
and it continues to do so. And
So
apparently those who, I guess, check it on a regular basis, I don't know, once a quarter or once every month, feel that the sound of leaking is getting louder. The depression of the riprap seems to be settling even more. So it does seem like a good idea that we get this work done within the short term. Even that's probably going to be, 6 months to a year. And don't hold me on that. I'm just throwing some numbers out there, but the dates out there, but the way things move, these kinds of projects, there's permitting involved, the DEC's involved, there's all sorts of things involved in getting it done. So engineers, et cetera. So any other questions?
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you. You bet. How many months out of the year do you think water does not flow over that dam?
Well, I've only been here 5 years myself, but it always seems to happen the August, September timeframe.
Yep.
And it really does depend on the weather.
So
1 or 2 years ago that it was really dry, we didn't get much rain at
Doesn't
all,
seem-
as you
thing would be the answer in that particular case.
And by the way, it is out of all those alternatives that were, it was the least expensive.
Right.
Yeah.
Even
Because
though
in
it's
essence, you
quite a
cap that plant, there's no water going to the village.
Right, so the temporary supply of water needs to be put in place first.
Right.
Before the LLO can be capped. And I, by the way, I should mention that with the water district, the committee, sustainable growth, Jaren, we're all in agreement and feel pretty positive that we can find funding once again for that project.
Cool.
Or not once again, but find funding for a project like that.
Or should we move along with the wells?
Yeah, I think the big picture too is you have to keep in mind, like, it's very easy for us to say like, oh, we drill wells, then we don't care what happens to the dam, but that's a big part down Rensselaerville too. We don't want to see something happen to the dam and
Right.
have it dewatered or something like that because we didn't want to help because we went and did our own thing. We used it for,
The reason the lake or the dam is in a high hazard, the Albany County High Hazard Mitigation Plan is because it's classified as a Class C dam, which by definition means if it were to fail,
Yeah.
it could potentially mean the loss of life downstream.
yeah.
So it's.
Yeah, and
not-
I'm just talking about just the recreational stuff. I mean,
Oh,
people come there,
absolutely.
swimming and fishing and hiking and,
Yeah.
it would be a big loss, so.
Yeah.
We'll trust, that we keep working on that. John also brought up, they continue to work moving forward to obtain the proper easement, that unfortunately was never sought out, for the sewer plant. They've had meetings with that, and Jason's been over and marked out a suitable area, for that easement. And then, John has invited Aaron Nevins to come to the 7/24 meeting to discuss the health insurance renewal, which will be for our current employees, not retirees. That's the one that we'll be doing, right? And from what I understand, it's going up again, which is not surprising because it goes up every year and not just here, but everywhere. So there's a couple of department heads that are not here. So their reports will be included with the minutes in the town board. So if anybody view those, the town board has them. There's Bill, the attorney report.
Nothing to state because your house is in order.
That's good. Thank you so much for that compliment. See, follow that.
Yeah, I want to see my house.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the attorney's report, limited as it
I'll
was.
second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. The highway recycling, highway superintendent recycling coordinator is not here tonight. Town clerk.
Okay, town clerk, everybody has the numbers. The only thing I really have to add to that is, I've been working with Sarah Friedman, Brian, at your 911 office. Worked a half a day with her. She came out, super helpful. And so I've been working with her, trying to get the 911 numbers updated, and accurate. And what we have now is a bit of a mess. I've been helping Tim, as much as I can. He's been doing a lot of the work, but he does not have a clerk, hasn't had one for a month or two. So I'm doing what I can to help Tim in that regard. Also helping train the new planning board clerk. So it's a slow period for my department, so that's timing has worked out well in that regard. And my deputy Melissa has updated our resolution files. There's a couple of books for the town clerks, a couple of books for the planning board, and one book for the zoning, the ZBA. Putting together all their resolutions, putting them on a spreadsheet so they're easily accessible and you can find them. So that's been a project she's been working on for the past several weeks, and it's just about done, if not done. But that's it. Hunting licenses are coming up unbelievably quick. August 1st, again. But we just got finished with hunting licenses, but they're here again. So, that's about it.
I make a motion to accept the town clerk's report.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Code enforcement officer is not present. He has a report in here. I looked at it real quick. There's only one permit that's been filed for a residential repair for $50, so that's all he's got. So I'll make a motion that we accept his written report.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then the assessor is not present, and we'll talk about him under new business, but his report, he had, for the month of June, 3 transfers to estate planning and 1 vacant parcel. And then, he's got some other business that we'll take care of, in the new business section. So I'll make a motion to accept the assessor's report.
I'll second it.
Water sewer. You do it while you're up there.
I'm headed out of town on vacation next week, so my report's rather short this week. And in so doing, I'll just jump ahead and talk about the fact that in September of '23, I'm not even sure I was the chair yet. I was assuming the position, and we had a water main break. And man, I had to figure out the hard way how to get things done. So not that we expect anything to happen while I'm gone for a week, but we have put in place a bit of an emergency plan for the water committee and the sewer water district, sewer district, in terms of who to contact, what to do, who should be called in, and that includes the town, fire chief, Albany County Department of Health, all that sort of stuff. So I feel we have a pretty good plan in place.
Fixed the last water main break. Yeah,
It was Andre Nadeau.
it was Andre.
Yeah. A lot of things have to happen,
You got that?
Sorry,
Like-
guys.
like turning off
Muted.
the water on one street or another so that you can actually do a repair. So it's more than just calling in a excavator / plumber.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I guess it was a bit of a surprise to me last summer or fall. We were talking about the lead service line and inspection we were required to do for the state, where we had to go into each home and identify what kind of material the service line was. It should all be copper at this point, but if there are any lead lines or any other kind of material that needs to be reported. Well, it seems we have to update our reports on an annual basis. So we did manage to provide an update, although there were no changes to it. That's going to become part of our regular O&M plan. And at the last, finally, the last Water Sewer Committee meeting, we continued to review the responses to the RFQ, which is the effort to find the engineer to take us to the next step of the project so that we can actually begin the construction phase. And we've agreed that we're not happy with the responses and that we're going to add to the RFQ and resubmit it to the public. So we're going to come to you to put out a new public notice. There's going to be a new version of that RFQ put out. The New York State Contract Reporter website will, and we're hopefully going to get some more responses from other engineering firms, and/or perhaps the ones that did respond will update their responses.
Who'd you hear from, Edwin?
Let's see if I can remember. Well, there was CTML, there was Delaware Engineering, there was H2M, which Troy, and there was starts with an L, but it was not Labella.
The Burge?
Yes, LaBerge. And listen, we could be just as much responsible for the kind of responses we got by maybe not putting out the best RFQ that we could have. So we're going to review both the quality and quantity of what we put out and make sure that everyone has a good opportunity to bid again. At the community meeting that we had, last month, I think. Yes, was it already? Time is going so fast. I had put out a request for volunteers to join a work group that would I guess, be, peer review of the potential sites for wells. Because there seemed to be a lot of input and a lot of opinion from the community. So let the community get engaged and be a part of the process. So we did get a handful of volunteers who want to participate in that process. And we're going to hold our first meeting on Tuesday, July 22nd at 7 p.m. It's going to be hosted by Hilltown Commons, but we'll also have it on Zoom for those who can't attend. And that's all I have.
All right, make a motion, we accept the water sewer committee.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Under old business, still this thing about the library annex sign at the recycling center. From what I understand, it's like an election sign.
It's a,
Like-
it's a
like-
lawn sign.
Yeah, long sign.
Just,
Okay, I make a motion that we allow the library to post their sign at the recycling center.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, that's still on here, but, just, if you can have him reach out, and I'll get you Dennis's number and then put those guys together so that they can do something down here, so it looks good. It needs to be done. All right, new business.
Yes, I make a motion to reappoint Peter Hoteling as sole assessor for the term from October 1st, 2025 to September 30, 2031.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I move to allow Assessor Hoteling to attend the Cornell seminars, July 13th through the 17th, approximate cost of $1,525, which includes tuition, lodging, meals, and mileage.
Doesn't he split that with another?
I think he gets money back. I think that's written here somewhere.
There is some sort of,
Some sort
the
of
training gets
reimbursement.
reimbursed,
Yeah.
but the estimated total cost, okay, is approximately $1,525.
Okay.
But, yeah, maybe they cover 60%.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
I authorize, town clerk to advertise the vacant, building, code clerk.
To that, make sure that the letters are submitted by August 1st.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good. And then the last thing on new business, the supervisor had asked that we talk about the potential for amending the local law to shipping containers. I know his concern is that there was a local shipping container that was permitted and done right, but then not painted. And you recall that when we passed the law that we were asked that the containers would be painted a neutral color, and apparently that did not make its way into the law. So he was looking at doing an amendment to the law.
It's a nay from me. I don't think we need to readdress it. It's old business. We passed a law. I think it covers it. I don't think anybody in the town has a problem with it except John. So I just want to let you know now, it's a definite no from me.
Anyone else?
I'd have to look at the law again. I don't.
Yeah,
Or is it natural color or neutral?
neutral or something.
tell
Well,
people
we
what-
don't even have it on there. We don't have a
So
color.
there's
And then,
nothing on it.
you know, I mean, I'm
Can you
not,
tell people what color to paint your house?
No, I just wouldn't want to read the law.
Well, the law as it exists only identifies these containers as an accessory structure. That's all.
Okay.
There's no other
They're
stipulation.
sheds.
Yeah.
Little sheds.
I'm
basically,
good with that.
yeah. And I think that, you know, you bring up a valid point is then we get into over regulating. We're telling people what color you can paint your shed or not your shed. And this just, any amendment to that local law then would carry on to sheds and everything else because it ties to that. So we're just opening up a can of worms. You know, I think if I would leave it alone. I think that down the road, if there's a potential issue where somebody's got extreme vulgarity or something on there, but
Right.
you know, again, I think that we law people to death. I was against the whole thing in the beginning anyways. The only reason that I was was for making an accessory building is because I believe that there are people who go out of their way to make a nice shed structure and then they get taxed on it. And then somebody else plops a shipping container in their lawn
In their
and they
front
get,
yard,
they
right.
get nothing. And it's like, if you want to do it, you're getting taxed just like, you might as well build a shed, right? Because those things are $4,000 now for 40. A shed for $4,000. So, all right, somebody can relay that to him, or I will when he wants to know what's going on with the town board meeting. Audience comments. I know you got something and I got something, so go ahead.
Just the Tri-Village Beautification Committee, which is a volunteer nonprofit organization that hangs flags and decorates and plants flowers in Preston Hollow, Potter Hollow, and Cooksburg, are having the annual membership drive and community picnic at the Ellsbury Park in Preston Hollow on the 20th of July from 1 to 4 p.m. It's potluck, but we also have Two Guys Local Bites will be providing hot dogs and hamburgers. And everybody from the Tri-Village area is invited. We probably wouldn't throw you out if you came and you weren't from the Tri-Village area.
He'll be there, free hot dogs.
I've been thrown out of a lot of places. I'm used to it.
But anyway, we're really looking for new members this year because we're down to a small few. And it does take work to decorate and to hang the flags and plant flowers. So thank you.
It looks great too, actually. The intersection 145 and 81 look really good. That come out nice.
Thanks.
All right, the only thing I had is I saw you walk in here and then listen to your report that it's like extremely slow month and there's not much to talk on. Like, is it your passion to drive to Medusa the first, second Thursday of every month, or would you like to have the consideration of, if it's a quiet, laid back meeting, to say, hey, Bill, if you don't have anything and there's not much going on the agenda, you could skip tonight. Nobody's going to badmouth you for not being here.
I'll do whatever the board wants.
Well, I just think it's silly to make you drive all the way out here from the city to come to a meeting that's well, if Ed didn't talk, it would have been 15 minutes, but it got
Well,
30.
if that happens again, I wouldn't mind receiving a phone call.
Okay. So can we try to remember that maybe? And then just, because I just think it's silly to make you come all the way out here if you got stuff, we appreciate it. And if we know something contentious is coming up or something like that, but to have you come all the way out, I think it's silly.
We all could just kind of put it in the back of our mind and maybe
Yeah.
help think of it.
Yeah, no, it's not your responsibility, but if you're the one that sees the agenda, I mean, you send it out, so, I saw you come in here, I'm like, this is so dumb.
So like, I'm okay with that.
Okay, yeah, me too. Send it my way. With that, I will entertain a
I move to adjourn.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Enjoy your trip. Be safe. How long you going?